And we're live. Beers and Buffalo podcast, season 7, episode 13. Back at it again for getting ready for week 10 of football coming up. Damn, dude, we're already at week 10, double digits.
It's insane.
It's going by quick.
The season's more than half over.
I know. It's sad. It's really sad.
It is.
Because I feel like it takes forever to get here.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, we're 10 episodes into the football season, and that's more than halfway through the actual season.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, we blinked, and we're 10 games in.
I know.
10 weeks.
But the Bills, I mean, our position still pretty good through 10 games, or technically 9 games, but 8 games. Well, bye week. We haven't played a week 10 yet. That's why.
Yeah.
Through 9 games, we're looking pretty good though. 6-2, second in the division though. Has me a little bit worried, but
I'm worried because the Patriots have one of the easiest remaining schedules left. And the Bills still have to play Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and all that shit.
All right, well, before we talk Bills, let's talk beer. I'll switch over to the slide here. And I was on beer duty this week. I grabbed us something from Southern Tier Brewing here. I went a little cold on us. Old Man Winter. There's a little picture of what the can looks like.
It's a fun can. This is definitely something I would have picked up. When you sent me the picture, I was like, that's a good can. I like that.
And I was telling you,
and it's a can, not a bottle, which is weird.
It is.
No, it's not. I lied. We usually get cans.
We usually get cans, but it's a short boy, and I can't possibly mess up the pour because
it's only 16-ounce glass and a 12-ounce can. You're right.
Correct. But I still messed it up, Jeff. It's crazy.
What the fuck are you doing?
I still managed to mess it up.
Fuck mine up too?
Wait a minute.
It's the beer. It's not us.
Yeah. Well, if Jeff messes up, it's the beer. It's not him. So I get to ride.
I got good pours.
I'll ride along with that then.
Yeah. It's the can.
Well, I'm gonna have to wait for that to go down. I'll describe the beer here. So yeah, pick this bad boy up at Wegmans. 7.5%. Chestnut brown, obviously. Rich toasted notes, baked bread, caramel toffee, dry fruits, touch of American piney hops. That was what caught me, the piney hops. I don't know what that's supposed to taste like. I was thinking like pine tree, but
my first thought.
We'll be sipping in a second here, and let's see if we can prove that right. But available November to December. Like I said, Old Man Winter. You would think more of a December type of beer, snowing type of beer. But you said it's supposed to snow what, next week?
Monday. We're supposed to get some. We're supposed to get some snow.
Early
Monday.
for that, dude. Yeah. December, at least December.
Well, at least it validates the fact that I have my Christmas tree up already.
You already got your tree up?
Oh, yeah. November 1st, baby. It's Christmas season.
All right. Cheers. Still got a huge head on this thing.
It was all foam.
Not like pine. I definitely get like chestnut or like roasted something. It's kind of like a toasted. It's definitely toasted.
Yeah,
something,
there's something
dude.
Toasty in there.
I'm getting a lot of that foam on there, but
yeah,
I'm trying to break through it.
I'm trying to get through the foam.
7.5%. Not drinking like 7.5% though.
No, those are dangerous.
It smells really good. This is another good like aroma beer I got.
Yeah, nice to just sit around the fireplace with this good beer.
It's light, but it's heavy at the same time. I don't know. I'm doing a bad job at describing that. A winter beer for sure.
It's heavier tasting.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't.
It drinks lighter.
Yeah, it doesn't like weigh you down though.
Yeah,
like I feel like I can have a few more
flavored,
of these.
lighter on the actual like.
Also, you can kind of see through it a little bit. It's a little transparent. It's not like motor oil. It's not like the hazies we've been drinking a lot of this year. I don't know, man. I like this a lot.
This is pretty good
for taking a chance on something.
Yeah, you're like, this isn't going to be good. I'm like, well,
I never know, dude. Because I always stick with IPAs and shit that I know. All right, I'll give myself on this one. Last week we had that Marzin lager, that Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it an 8.2. I'm not going to put that.
Oktoberfest was a little bit better than this.
I think so too. I'm going down.
I had a number in my head, so I want to see if you're close to me because we usually are.
7.7.
7.6. We should start saying it at the same time. See how close we really are to each other.
I also like the Fallbach a little bit better, 7.9 that we did 2 weeks ago.
The Fallbach was good.
But honestly, like we had a kind of a stretch here of 8-7, 8-1, 7-9, 7 or 8-2. And
I
then
redeemed
7-7.
myself after the first 2 beers that I brought. Well, one of the last couple beers, the Imperial Brown,
these ones,
the Cattle Lantern because it was Halloween, and then the Where Else Would You Rather beer because the Bills came off a big win I think that week. So,
Jesus Christ. All right, guys, let's get into some Bills talk here. Bills extending their regular season win streak against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday with a win 28-21 at Highmark Stadium. Game opened up, bang, man, right off the gate. Bills marched downfield, score on their first drive. 27-yard pass to Dalton Kincaid, his 4th of the year. We saw what a healthy Kincaid looks like, and what he does for your team. He goes 6 for 6, 101 yards and a tutty. Second time this year he's gone over 100 yards.
It's great. I said on the podcast last week, I said, you know what I want the Bills to do? Get the ball first, go down and score, and then if you have to go score for score with the Chiefs, which I was expecting a little bit more of a shootout. I wasn't expecting that poor of a performance from the offense on the Chiefs, but they did exactly what I said. Come out and score, and then if you have to, that way you're always in the lead, and the Bills never gave up the lead. They were in control of that entire game.
Absolutely. The Chiefs would tie things up second quarter. Mahomes led the charge, 7 plays, 53 yards. Rashee Rice scores on a direct snap, rushing touchdown. Rice, for their team, has been a huge lift for the team since returning from suspension, scoring in all 3 games and leading the team in targets each week. Bills were able to hold him to 4 catches, but he still got 80 yards out of the mix there. As usual, we struggle with the big plays, it seems like. But Rashee Rice, man, I mean, 4 for 80. I know he got the rushing touchdown, but 4 for 80 without a receiving touchdown, I'll take as kind of a win, considering what he's done in the prior weeks. He started off his first game off of suspension with 2 touchdowns. I think that was the Raiders that week, and then had a touchdown and over 100 yards or close to 100 the week before. So, I mean, 4 for 80, I'll take it. That's a win. And I think Hairston was on him for most of the game. Or no, Hairston was covering Worthy, I think, a lot of that game.
Yeah,
speed on speed.
Yeah.
Well, people are like texting me, hit me up. Where's Hairston at? Why is Rice getting open? He might have covered him a couple times, but the plays that I saw, Hairston was covering Worthy, and he was doing a damn good job.
Yeah,
like that's why you go out and get a guy that's fast on defense, because a lot of these receivers are faster, and you're going to need speed. Who else would have been covering him? You're going to stick Trey White on him?
Old man Trey White?
It wouldn't have been Trey White. It would have been Benford, and even Benford, as good as he is, he doesn't have that top end speed.
Right.
You need somebody that can stick with these shifty receivers out there. So, I mean, for being his second game back, Hairston, I think, did a really good job in this game. Yeah,
I'm very happy to see that he's contributing right off the bat too. And Cole Bishop, give him a little nod too, because he had a hell of a game too. I thought every time that there was a big play or a big stop, I always thought that Cole Bishop, if he wasn't making the play, he was in the area, and he was at the right place where he needed to be. And he started off very slow this year. There were questions about him whether is this guy even going to cut it on the Bills, let alone the NFL roster. And he's turned it around. He's improved week after week. So with Hairston and Bishop, both playing lights out this past week, it's really good. It's promising to see that our secondary is kind of like, not to get too far ahead, it's kind of picking up the slack of where the injuries are starting to happen on the interior defensive line. Yeah, and honestly, those are both those players I wrote down on here too. Cole Bishop, Hairston, who had an interception, which was the only turnover between either team. Bishop had 7 tackles. Joey Bosa even added a sack in there. So we had some players contribute on the defensive side there. Both teams continue to light up the scoring in the second quarter. 2 more field goals by Kansas City, 2 more touchdowns by Buffalo. Ty Johnson, 3-yard run. Josh Allen, 1-yard QB sneak. It was originally called short, and then they went to review, reversed it. And I think if you recall, I think right before that, James Cook, I believe, was in the end zone, and they called him short too. It could have easily been a James Cook rushing touchdown to kind of pad his stats for the year. I think they were both in. I don't know what the reviews were. Even the original call for Allen, like, dude, it was obvious that he broke the plane there. I don't know. Look, I'm grateful for some of these reviews because it is helping out the game a little bit, but it does slow it down on obvious calls like this, where we don't need to spend 5-6 minutes looking at a replay. Yeah, it's one thing if they called a touchdown and then Kansas City challenged it. Like, well, wait a minute, let's take another look at this. But like, it was close enough. It was
close.
almost clear enough that they were both in. It's like, why aren't you calling this? Like, both times. I'm like, James Cook was in, Josh Allen was in. Now we got to sit here and wait. And like, and then if they would have called that again, like, oh no, he didn't actually cross the goal line. It's like, well, now you're killing all of our momentum.
Yep.
Now you're like any type of like speed, momentum, whatever we had going. It's like you kind of killed it because you blew the one play dead. You blew the next play dead. We had to review it. Now we got to run another play. So I'm just glad that they got it right the second time and they actually reviewed it and said he was in.
Yeah, absolutely. Third quarter, little less eventful. Only one touchdown scored. And again, it was Josh Allen for 1 yard. He's been exceptional around the goal line. Yes, James Cook is playing his part, but I mean, he's been so good around the goal. He's tough to stop. When it comes to the tush push, I mean, besides the Eagles, the next best team has got to be the Buffalo Bills at doing this thing with Josh Allen. We stick Dawson Knox behind him. We stick Dalton Kincaid and maybe even James Cook and then just push him from behind. It's almost a lock at that point. We're getting to the point where that should just be a guarantee. Now, it didn't work in the playoffs last year against the Chiefs, right?
Supposedly,
but
according to the call, if you watch the replay, he got that 1 yard.
He got it 1 yard. But what I'd like to see is, yes, it's essentially a lock, but I wouldn't mind us, and I've said this before, and I said it with the Eagles should do this, and occasionally they do throw a fake out there, the fake tush, and then a toss to the running back. Yeah. If that's not a walk-in touchdown, I don't know what would be.
Or like, just a fake tush and direct snap it to the, like,
oh yeah,
Josh could just line up and just be like, hey, they should work on that. Don't snap it to me. Snap it a little bit faster behind me and right to James Cook, and I'm just going to go in like I've got the ball.
It's tough because he's right on the lineman, though. But like he's
so
right
he's
there.
6'5".
So what do they got to hike it under his legs?
Yeah, just spread your legs a little bit more, you know?
Okay. It might seem easier than I feel like the execution.
Right. You know what? You're absolutely right. In my head, I'm just like, this is a this is a no-brainer play. I should be coaching in the NFL.
I think I've seen that play in NFL Street before. I think that we might be able to do that.
Right.
So at this time here, the Bills look to be running away with it, 28-13. We're heading into the fourth quarter, but in true fashion, we seem to let off the gas. We let our opponents back into these games. There was a 4th and 17 that was converted in the fourth quarter, and it almost seems like the Bills are the only team in the NFL that give up the 4th and forevers. It sucks. I get it. Because it's the Chiefs, and you almost expect a call, maybe a penalty be thrown or something. There was no flag. It was just a breakdown. I think that was the play where Bosa had like a shot, and he stopped himself.
I saw that is the play, and I saw that, and at first I was like, what is he doing? Just go sack Patrick Mahomes. But I think he realized that he was already trying to cover a guy.
Yeah.
So he like backed off to make sure that a big play didn't happen.
Someone was in the flats and he was trying to go back into coverage. I think.
So he was trying to go into coverage, and it made sense to do that. So that way, like we saw in the 13-second game, where that was almost the exact same play. It might have been Kelsey that was over there, and he backed off to cover him, and then obviously Mahomes threw that deep ball down the field. But
it just seemed like at that point you're already committed where. If it's a 5-yard pass, he's got to run 12 more yards. Just commit at that time and go for it. Because if he gets it off, now he's got yards after catch, 12 yards there. We already have our defense playing back. So somebody theoretically should be able to make the stop.
Right.
That's the only thing I was thinking of. He should have just committed on that. Like I said, the Chiefs, they get the 4th down conversion, and they get a touchdown. I think it was a 66-yard drive there. They get the 2-point conversion. They're within one score. We can never be comfortable with our lead here. 27 seconds remaining. Matt Prater to ice the game, who's been relatively accurate, I think, this year since signing him. Misses a 52-yarder, hits the right upright. And thankfully, 22 seconds was enough time to hold Mahomes this time from completing the comeback, and that's ball game. I don't know who it was at the end. There was it Harrison again with the knockdown at the end of the game.
I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the number was 37. That's not Benford.
It might be Benford. No, Benford's 47. I don't know. Maybe one of his safeties or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm happy with the win. I'm more happy with the way our defense played and held Mahomes in check. The guy he was 15 for 34, 250 yards, no touchdowns and an interception. That might be one of his worst stat lines ever. Yeah. No touchdowns and a turnover? And less than 50% completion is like a 46% completion
I think
rate?
that was his worst game since, I think they said week 7 last year. So
that's terrible.
Well, last game without a throwing touchdown.
Okay. But still, like, he wasn't even, Josh, 23-26, extremely efficient, like he's been the last few games. 3 total touchdowns, 0 turnovers. Then you flip it. Mahomes, 15-34, 250, no touchdowns and a turnover, and yet it's a 1-score game.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this, we should have won by two touchdowns minimum, 3 touchdowns.
100%.
It blows my mind that these games could be this close, but the stats tell a different story almost.
Yeah, if you looked at both stats without knowing the game script, without knowing the score, and you're like, oh yeah, Buffalo probably won that game by double digits.
Yeah, easily.
Minimum. Right? Like 2 to 3 scores.
Yep.
And you're like, no, it was a 1-score game. You'd be like, come again?
With a chance to tie it.
Yes.
It wasn't even like it was a 1-score game and we had the ball last. They had the ball last. So it just doesn't make any sense. And we only had 4 penalties for 40 yards, better than the last few weeks. We're missing some key players on offense and defense, most notably on defense this game. Michael Hoyt.
That's so depressing.
IR misses the rest. Will miss the rest of this season. Huge loss.
Yeah.
Just got him back.
Yep.
See you later.
Yep.
Maybe next year.
Second game back, blows his Achilles out. It's just like unbelievable. It's like, it drives me nuts. Like, how do these Achilles injuries keep happening? Like, is it the turf? Is it just, they're too strong for their tendons they can't withstand that type of like push off power when they're going to attack? Like, is it the shoes?
I also, like, I don't know what his injury history is, but Achilles are probably one of the worst things to try to come back from. And some players are never the same. So, yes, he can come back next year and play. How will he be? Will he be the same player? We really only got just a glimpse of him, one full game as a Buffalo Bill, and he did great. And he was playing well in this game before he got hurt. So it's like, Jesus, now we don't even know what type of player we're going to get when he comes back next year. It's a big loss, man. It's a letdown there. A lot of people will say after this game, and I've seen it all over Facebook here, that the game didn't matter. And I named this podcast "Beat the Chiefs." It still matters.
Yeah, it does.
It does matter, and it's not that this is. See, a lot of fans will get it twisted and say, "Oh, this is the Bills Super Bowl. We beat the Chiefs again." And I can see why other people are mad at that, going, well, it doesn't matter because we haven't beat them in the playoffs. It does matter, and particularly this year, it's all about seeding. It's all about trying to catch the Patriots. Would you have rather us lose this game and then
go a game back,
and then we're really in a tough spot, and then, okay, yeah, we beat the Patriots or the Chiefs in the playoffs. That would be great. But I want to beat them both times. So why can't we be happy about both types of wins? Yeah. I just think it's the dumbest argument where this game doesn't matter. It's one of the worst takes I've ever heard.
Yeah, so I've never been the type of person like this game doesn't matter. I've never wanted to be the person that calls it a revenge game. Every time we lose them in the playoffs, we play them in the regular season. It's a revenge game.
It's not a revenge game.
This isn't the revenge game. This is a regular season game. If we have to lose one of the Chiefs, I'd rather lose in the regular season, beat them in the playoffs, because it's been the complete opposite for the last 5 years.
Sure.
But it does matter in the fact that
it still matters.
Right at the end, if the playoffs started today, the Chiefs wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Correct.
So it does matter. Like, the Chiefs are now 5-4.
Yeah,
they're 2 games back of the Bills. They're 2 games back of the Patriots. They're 2 games back of the Broncos in their own division. They're 2 games back of the Colts, who are still the number 1 seed right now. So, and the Bills are tied with all of them. So it does matter. Like, people say it doesn't matter. We got to beat them in the playoffs. Yeah, we know we have to beat them in the playoffs. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
So, and then the other argument is, well, it doesn't matter really because you're acting like the Bills aren't making the playoffs or the Chiefs aren't making the playoffs. Both teams will make the playoffs. Okay, I'd like to believe that. Well, I'd like to believe we're going to make the playoffs, but that's still not a guarantee.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you believe that Mahomes will find a way, and that probably will, and you believe that Josh Allen will find a way, and we probably will as well, but it's not guaranteed, especially the way that the Patriots have been playing this year. Yep. We don't have a comfortable lead over these teams. We have to play catch-up, and like you said, they have the easiest remaining schedule left out of all teams, I'm pretty sure, the Patriots.
Yep.
So we're playing catch-up and kind of foreshadowing, hopefully this week they'll lose a game, the Patriots, but it's not a guarantee. So I don't like this take that the game doesn't matter, beat them in the playoffs. I don't like the take that, both teams will make playoffs anyways. It's not true. Every season is different. This one particularly is going to be interesting that the Bills are playing from behind as far as in the standings. I was trying to pull that shit up while I was looking because I was looking at your Kansas City take here. Oh, I'm in the division. Where's conference? Here we go. Let me switch over.
Loading.
I know this stupid thing is loading. Go to capture screen here. So, yeah, they're in the 8th spot here, dude. So is that playoffs?
No, 7.
7
is playoffs.
So yeah, they're out of it.
Yep.
Colts, Pats, Broncos, and Steelers all have a bye as of now.
Yeah, that's the. Wait, what?
The Colts, the Pats, the Broncos, and the Steelers would all have byes.
Oh, would they have a bye?
Or first seeds. And they have who's got the bye?
The Colts had the bye right now.
The Colts.
Yeah, I thought you were
Sorry.
like all 4 of those
Not
teams
the
have a bye.
bye.
I'm like,
Sorry.
wait a minute.
Colts had the bye. The
Yeah.
Colts, Pats, Broncos, Steelers would all be the 1 seeds. Colts with the bye. Sorry about that.
Yeah. You confused me for a second.
Yeah. My
brain was like, wait a minute, what's he saying?
7.5%. I'll just say that. Just started drinking. So yeah. All right. Let's move forward here. I think that was everything on that game. Josh Palmer still limited in practice today. James Cook actually showed up on the injury report.
Yeah, ankle out of nowhere. That is new.
Did not practice today. Ankle foot injury.
When?
I don't know.
When? Because he looked great all game, and then all of a sudden, like we didn't take him out at the end of the game. He was still on there the last time the Bills were on offense. So
I think it might just be one of those precautionary.
Well, usually if it's veteran rest, they'll tell you it's veteran rest.
They should.
They do. Like that. There was a couple guys last week that had veteran rest. So I don't know where James Cook popped up with this ankle injury. That was like Ed Oliver getting stepped on in practice after week 1, who had a great game, and we're like, Ed Oliver's, he's going to be great this year, and he misses fucking 5 games.
You know he's on IR, right?
Yeah. He's on IR.
He's on IR.
Yeah, because he tore his biceps.
They
Just
said
play without it.
They said
you got another one.
If he does come back, it would be playoffs. So
if we're lucky, that's like best case scenario is he's back for playoffs.
So I want to talk about the Bills trade deadline or lack of trade made at the deadline before we get into the upcoming game here. We didn't make any moves despite the hope that we would have some roster improvements here, especially in defense and the wide receiver areas. We were exploring trades for Jacoby Myers, Deebo Samuels. It even said Von Miller, which I would not agree with. Other AFC teams like the Jets,
the Mees.
Jesus Christ, man. Obviously, they're not going to trade within the division. They're not the Browns. Mm-hmm. And the Bills' lack of action, I think, are leaving a lot of fans, including ourselves, pretty frustrated at the deadline here.
I'm more upset. It's like you just witnessed your 2 best defensive players over the last couple of weeks, Michael Hoyt and Ed Oliver, wind up on IR for the rest of
pretty much the rest of the year. Yeah.
Well, rest of the regular season at least for Ed Oliver, all of next year or this year and part of next year for Hoyt. Wide receiver, I get it. They always say, well, we're comfortable with the guys that we have in our locker room. I get it. I'm actually kind of curious as to see what Gabe Davis can do. I understand that should not be the answer, but at this point, the Bills don't have any cap space. You have to be able to trade for players.
So here's the thing: what about is there anybody in free agency that we could go out and get? Because that was my thing.
If they're in free agency, there's a reason they're in free agency.
I get that, but maybe that was. I mean, it just might not be over completely. Maybe the plan was to make a trade. They didn't make a trade. Second option is, well, our fallback is we'll grab somebody out of free agency. I think they do make a move because at this rate, we're going to have no players on offense or defense by fucking week 15. So I think maybe they go out and grab somebody off free agency. I'd have to look to see if there's anybody notable or worth even grabbing at that point. But I'm just thinking there's no way we don't go without any moves before the end of the season. Like I almost feel like it has to happen, whether or not Gabe Davis is going to help the team or not. There are some players. I was trying to find the quote from was it Bobby Babish talking about Javon Sullivan being kind of a next man up mentality and him looking really good in practice, but he's also had some game experience this year and he could be a potential guy. So the Bills are, I think, believing more that they got, depth and that they don't need to really go out and get anybody. whether that's guys on the practice squad or just third stringers on the active roster. So,
yeah, no, I was definitely looking towards them making a trade more on the defensive side, especially in your linebacker position, and get another edge rusher after Hoyt went down. Like, that guy was going to make a huge difference the rest of this season. And I was like, when I saw that video of his Achilles popping, I was just like, come on, can we catch a break with these fucking injuries? Like, I know every team deals with injuries, and maybe it's because I paid attention to the Bills more than any other team, but I feel like we are plagued with injuries. I think the only team that had more injuries last year than the Bills was the Detroit Lions.
And they had some key injuries.
And they had some really key injuries, Aiden Hutchinson being one of them, and I think they probably would have gone to the Super Bowl had he been healthy.
However, there were notable trades out there, none of which did go to the Bills.
One blockbuster trade. Two blockbusters.
Colts would acquire Sauce Gardner from the Jets, and the Jets would receive a 26 first round pick, 27th first round pick, and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. That's
Adani.
I called him Adani too, but I've heard other people say Adonai.
I've only heard Adani.
Okay, I've heard it multiple ways. So yeah, Adani, Adonai,
whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him late for dinner.
I little surprised that the Jets would shelf him out of there because I didn't hear his name at all. I knew Breece Hall was kind of in the mix.
Yeah, Breece Hall wanted to get. He was tweeting yesterday during the trade deadline, like, "I want to get traded. Like, take me with you."
I think the Chiefs would have been a potential suitor for that, but they couldn't reach an agreement. That's a huge win for the Colts. Like, they already have had a pretty decent defense this year, minus last week where they gave up a shit ton of points to the Steelers, but they still ended up having like 6 sacks or whatever. This kind of just completes that defense, bringing another piece into the secondary. They're on a mission here to win the Super Bowl. Like, they're all in this year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they're pushing all their chips on the table. They're going all in right now. They are absolutely in it to win it this year. They know they've got a cheap, they're going to end up having to pay Daniel Jones. But I also think this reassures that, like, you're getting rid of these first round picks. You're set with Daniel Jones then, at least for the next 2 years, because you're not going to have a first-round pick until 2028. So Daniel Jones has to be your guy for the next 2 years because you're not going to have a first-round pick to try and get a quarterback.
Right.
And I think they've got a decent wide receiver squad. They just got Tyler Warren. He's on a rookie contract. He's a phenomenal tight end for them. Jonathan Taylor, I don't know what his contract situation looks like, but as long as he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs in the league too. So the Colts have a really good offense. Now they figured out their quarterback situation, and they just bolstered their defense to be even better, especially in the secondary with Sauce Gardner, who has dropped off. He's not probably a top 10 defenseman anymore, but he's probably still a top 25, top 30 defenseman in the league. I would have loved a Sauce Gardner on my team.
We're not getting him, unfortunately.
Obviously, he just got traded to the Colts.
But I mean, like, the
Jets
just
would have
traded him.
I would have liked a Sauce Gardner type of player on my team. We don't have a Sauce Gardner.
No, but I think
Trey White before the injuries, maybe.
We'll see what happens with Hairston, what he turns into.
I know it's early, but I'm just saying, like, we know Hairston could be a Sauce Gardner type, but we know Sauce Gardner is still good and an elite level.
So Jonathan Taylor still has one more year after this year. There's a potential buyout after 26, it says. But it was a 3-year, $33 million thing. And he's due another $15 million after this season. So, I mean, they got some pieces, and they'll probably end up having to restructure this or re-sign him to a longer contract. He's going to want a lot of money.
If they get rid of him, though, they're only on the hit for 3.
Yeah, but dude,
2.5. They're not going to get rid of him.
They're not going to get rid of him, and especially with the, I think, success they've had this year.
And he's getting another contract. He's only 20. He'll only be 27 next year.
What I'm saying is, like, with the success this year, there's reason for him to stay.
Yeah,
they got a quarterback. They got a good defense. Mm-hmm. They're winning games. He'll want to stay too.
Yeah, for sure.
Cowboys acquire Quinnen Williams from the Jets. The Jets doing kind of a fire sale here. The Jets gave up a 26 second rounder, and it looks like a 2027 first rounder and a defensive tackle. I mean, they lost Micah Parsons. Here's your answer. We'll get another guy in the line.
Hindsight being 20/20 or 50/50, whatever the hell they call it. They should have just kept Micah Parsons and just paid him, honestly, because Quinn Williams just got paid.
That's just ego. That's Jerry Jones at that point wanting to win the battle. That's all that comes down to.
Yeah, that's true, because Jerry Jones is just in it for the attention at this point, because I don't think he actually wants to win. He just wants to be the center of attention.
And he is the center of attention.
And you know what's crazy? Did you see that at the game Monday night? Who was sitting next to Jerry Jones in the press box?
No.
Stephen A. Smith, who is the biggest Cowboys hater ever.
But he's done interviews with Jerry Jones.
I know,
he calls him his buddy. And I think that Stephen A. I think he does a lot of that for the show.
And it's more towards the fans.
It is.
So I get that. But it's funny, because you always see these Stephen A. videos where he's lighting up a cigar with his cowboy hat. And he's just laughing. How about them Cowboys after they lose?
Yeah.
Especially after they get blown out in the fucking the playoffs.
Especially how they just lose to the Cardinals.
Oh my goodness! That was a bad loss too. They got whooped.
Eagles acquired defensive end Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. The Eagles traded away a 2026 third rounder for him. Not a bad deal. We knew that the Dolphins were going to move some pieces. Here's some wide receivers. Seahawks getting Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. And they traded away a fourth rounder for 2026 and a fifth rounder in 2026. I don't think that's a bad deal.
No.
Fourth and a fifth rounder. I mean, it's 2 draft picks in the same year, but you get you're getting another decent wide receiver on the other side, because Cooper Kupp isn't it this year.
No, Cooper Kupp.
Unfortunately, it's not him.
Cooper Kupp.
I don't know what it is either, because I feel like he's not. I feel like he can still run routes. He's just not. Is he not getting open anymore?
He's just not getting the targets, I don't think.
I don't know, dude. I don't watch enough Seahawks games.
Yeah,
me
either.
It's weird. Like, I just felt like he still got that brand recognition, but obviously the Seahawks didn't feel that way. Jaguars getting Jacoby Myers, the guy the Bills were supposed to get from the Raiders. They traded away and they only gave up a 2026 fourth round and a 2026 sixth round. The Bills couldn't do that. The Bills couldn't match that offer.
Probably couldn't afford them. I don't even know what
we could have moved some shit around, I think.
That's why I kept texting you. I'm like, give up our first round pick next year and send him Curtis Samuel, because he's healthy now. Get rid of that $8 million cap hit off of our books this year and next year, and go get Chris Olave, who is on a rookie contract still. That would have been the biggest trade. That would have been Diggs 2.0 in my opinion.
Yeah,
we traded a first round pick and for Diggs, and this would have been Diggs 2.0, but I like Chris Olave. And so far, I know he's not on good enough teams to be talking shit, but he doesn't seem to be a diva. He does have some injury issues, but...
And the last notable one I wrote down, Eagles acquiring Jair Alexander and a 2027 seventh rounder from the Ravens, and they only had to give up a 2026 sixth-round pick. That's
insane.
That's insane.
Jair Alexander was one of the best
corners,
corners when he played on Green Bay.
Yeah,
he had, but again, he was a diva. The people didn't want to deal with him in the locker room.
Yeah, I don't even know if he was actually seeing playing time this year,
which doesn't make sense because the Ravens' defense isn't that good.
Yeah, they had that Hamilton guy, and I forget who else is on their team, but kind of a surprise there. So the Eagles getting a couple defensive players, the Colts getting a couple, or getting Sauce Gardner, the Jags getting a good player. There's a few other trades there, but I mean, Jesus Christ, you look at this and go, how did the Bills not land any player? Anything.
Just make
a lot of DNs, a lot of receivers, which is what we needed.
Yeah,
they're all moving.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, and I know our cap issues. It's got to be a two-way. I think Brandon Beane said this. It's got to be a two-way street. Yeah, we can call, but they got to be willing to negotiate a little bit, or they got to be willing to meet us somewhere. It's. You can only do so much. As long as I know he was actively trying to make deals, I'm fine with that. So it's not like he was like, "No, we're good. We're not calling for anybody," because you got injury issues. You've got wide receiver issues at this point. So Brandon Beane, as long as he actually made an attempt yesterday to try to get a deal done,
yeah,
I'll trust him so far.
All right, let's get on to next week here. Bills will enter Week 10 with a 6-2 record, set to face Miami Dolphins after 3 non-divisional games. Game will be in Miami, 1 p.m. We love those games. Spread as of now, I think, moved to 9.5 is what I saw it at. Weather forecasted is about 86 degrees. Chance of afternoon thunderstorms, but you know how Florida is. It'll fucking rain, and then 30 seconds later it'll be 86 degrees and sun again. So 8.5 it was this morning, and then when I was doing this, it moved to 9.5. I think it's about right. I haven't been spot on with some of my latest line predictions here. I thought we were going to be a lot closer in that Carolina game, and I was well wrong on that. And I thought for the Thursday night game last week, the Dolphins and Ravens, I said the Dolphins would cover 7.5, and they lost 28-3 or whatever it was.
It was bad.
Haven't been great on those predictions, but that being said, the game 1 in Buffalo was a 10-point game, and now we're going there, and the spread's 9.5. If you're just looking at that, I go, it'll be close. I still think now I'm thinking it's 6-7 points. But then you look at the Dolphins organization as a whole and how they've looked this season, and they're shit. I think they've basically given up. The players have given up. Still surprised Mike McDaniel is still there.
Yeah, they got rid of the GM.
So this will be he's done it. Maybe they're just not going to do a midseason firing because I don't know why. I think you need to because I don't think the players are respecting him anymore as the head coach, and he's kind of lost control of the locker room, I think, to calling out players and fucking after game press conferences. It's a dumpster fire. So when you look at that, you go, the Bills should win by 30. So it's just kind of a tale of two stories there where which team is going to show up. Are the Bills going to play down to their opponent, or are they just going to whoop them? Because if the Bills decide to actually play like they did against the Chiefs last week, I think we win this game by 2-3 scores easily.
I think we figured it out. James Cook is the answer. And
run the ball.
Knock on wood, that this injury is just like he's a little tender maybe.
I think he's just sore. I think he's just sore.
He probably wanted to, instead of just saying veteran rest, they probably had to give.
He's sore, dude.
But
so I'm going to just chalk it up as he's sore. Yeah. And again, that's the issue with having these podcasts on Wednesdays. It's, we're just getting early, practice news. So who knows? It'll change tomorrow, and by Friday, if he logs even a limited practice, he'll play. But I just don't see this being anything serious because you would have heard about it, I feel like, by now.
Yeah, I don't. And like I said, he was playing the last drive of the game when the Bills had the ball on Sunday. So if he was actually hurt, he probably wouldn't have been out there, especially because the Bills were already up 7, trying to go up 10.
Sure.
That missed field goal obviously didn't help. But
win streak versus Miami. Bills aim for their 8th consecutive win over the Dolphins. Josh Allen boasting a strong record against them. Defense forcing regular takeaways. Buffalo won in week 3 by 10, and that was home, so I just said that. Look for the Finns to play us close. I think that might be the case, but we should also blow them out. Passing surge, Josh had a standout game week 9, had an efficient passing attack, targeting Dalton Kincaid a lot in that game and, having success in the air. It's a favorable matchup. They have a bad defense, but their run defense is second worst in the league. So then I flip back and go, give the ball back to Cook, dude. I don't think they'll have an answer for him. No, and they just got traded that Jalen Phillips guy. Yep. So at that point, I think it's Cook first, and we'll see what can happen. I think everybody eats on this. If I have to rub the magic 8 ball here, I think it's just going to be an all-out kind of attack on offense, maybe.
Yeah, I'm hoping. We'll have to see I like to see what Harrison does too. Because he didn't play the first time when we played Miami. I'd like to see him lined up with Waddle instead of White. So like you said, the Dolphins parted ways with GM Chris Greer. They name Champ Kelly as interim GM. Why does that name sound familiar?
No, you're thinking of Chip Kelly.
You know what? I combined them, Chip Kelly and Champ Bailey.
It's Champ Kelly. Well, the guy's first name is Champ. Kind of makes me a little nervous.
Champ Bailey was an all-time great, though.
Dude, anybody that's name is Champ, I'd be watching out for.
That's the type of nickname that a grandfather gives their grandson. What's up, Champ?
Let's look up Champ Kelly, dude.
Oh man, I got to see this. Oh,
there he is.
Not what I was expecting.
Let's see what Champ Kelly.
I was expecting a
old white dude,
older pudgy white dude. Not expecting Champ Kelly to
it's Champ Bailey. Maybe it's Champ Bailey's friend. Maybe everybody, all champs know each other. I don't know. Champ, dude, fucking Champ, man.
What's his real name?
No, it's not.
Where's his
name.
Wikipedia?
Anthony.
All right. Okay. All right.
So
that's a good nickname to have, though. At least you know,
Champ, dude. Anyways, and then I already mentioned the injury setback for Buffalo with Michael Hoyt, Achilles injury, and I told you Javon Sullivan kind of was somebody that Babish had brought up. Ed Oliver is also out until playoffs. So, I mean, Miami probably will score some points in this one. They might get 10 on us, maybe 14 if they're lucky. But Bills 30 to 14 should be easy. 32-14, something like that. I want back-to-back.
31-13.
31-13. Yeah, I'm doing my...
What's that?
Oh.
Shit, what's it called?
Yeah.
I have a friend that's big into it, and I can't think of it now. I keep wanting to call it scorigami, but that's obviously not scorigami.
That's not it. But, yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's going to drive me nuts now.
Well, yeah, 31-13. That'll be the prediction right there. So, yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for the Bills game.
Honestly, I just want to see how the next man up, after Hoyt went down last week. I want to see how our defensive line looks. I want to see how Bosa looks. Bosa has been playing really good this year. He's I've seen some articles saying that he's had a little bit of a resurgence, which is kind of true. He had some down years in his last couple of years in Los Angeles. I'd like to see him stay healthy.
Absolutely.
First things first. And I'd like to see him keep that energy up because he looks like he actually wants to play hard. Like, there's guys that just go out there towards the end of their career. They just go out there. They just play. Well, they're just a shell of themselves. But no, Bosa looks like he wants to be Bosa. Like, I know that doesn't sound at all accurate. Yeah. I'm kind of just rambling while you're pulling something.
No, I was just looking. I was just pulling up the depth chart because I wanted to look to see what we had here going on. Defense, Rousseau, Oliver's out. So Larry Ogunjobi might step into the place here. Daquan Jones and Joey Bosa looks like to be our D-line. Milano's out. We know that. Shaq Thompson.
I think he practiced. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams. No. Nothing changed there. I thought this thing would be more updated. They're not even counting the injuries, dude.
Yeah, you are on the Bills.
This is the official Bills.
I can't yell at you.
I know. You can't
yell at you this
time. All right,
time.
so now I'm going to go to the unofficial Bills depth chart and see
ESPN.
what they have. Oh, look at this. This is a little bit more official.
Oh,
I got some cues.
Get some cues.
I got some cues.
Some P's,
Daquan, Q. Joey, Q. Terrell Bernard, Q. What's Benford, Q. What happened to Benford?
Groin, limited.
Okay. 3 hours ago. Oh, good. We got just up
there. I have it right here.
Oh, nice, dude. Okay. So,
and this is also from like 3 hours ago.
Anybody on Miami side? Does it say?
This is just the Buffalo.
Oh, it's just the Buffalo one. I mean, regardless, dude, this should be, like I said, it should be a cakewalk.
It really shouldn't matter what injuries the Dolphins have. They haven't been good when they're healthy.
That's true too.
So they're gonna be awful. They just got rid of. They lost Tyreek Hill for the year. They just traded Phillips, so their defensive line isn't going to be as good. As long as our offensive line is healthy and makes the right plays, Josh Allen's going to have an absolute field day and do whatever the fuck he wants back there in the pocket. So
I think so too.
That's pretty much all I've got for that game too. I'm looking forward to a nice 1:00 game.
I love
the only, like I said, the only thing I like about the Bills now playing at 1:00 is I can just sit there and put Red Zone on and hope for an Octo Box.
I know.
The Octo Box is fun.
I love the Octo Box.
Yeah, me too.
All right, some other news here from last week. I touched on it. Ravens did embarrass the Dolphins last week, 28-6. So maybe the Dolphins come out with a little bit of a spunk. They
got 10 days rest.
Yeah, they got 10 days rest, and they just came off an embarrassing loss. Maybe they put up a little bit of a fight, but wasn't expecting more of the Ravens to do as well as they did with Lamar, basically first full game back.
Yeah.
But they put a shellacking on. Panthers upset the Packers on the road 16-13. Highly defensive game. Packers really couldn't get anything going in that. Rico Dowdell, thank you very much for falling into my lap. The Panthers have been a pleasant surprise, I'll say, this year.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I'm a Panthers fan, but it's nice to see these teams that have just been shit for a while just gain some traction.
Yeah,
look like a fucking team again. The Bills don't have to worry about them. We're not in their division, and it's NFC anyways, but
I think they're currently in the playoff run.
They're close. I think they're in second, behind Tampa.
No, I mean just like in a wild card.
Oh, okay, in a wild card.
They have a winning record.
Damn it!
Which is crazy to say that going into Week 10, the Panthers have a winning record. because the Panthers don't normally have a winning record. I think I said the last time right before we played them, they haven't had a winning record after like week 6 or 7 in 8 years or something like that.
So they're the 9th.
Oh, they're 9th. Okay, but they're 5-4.
5-4.
They're only technically a game behind a couple of teams because of they played one more game. They haven't had the bye yet.
They're there. They're actually in the conversation, which they're in the conversation,
which is it's cool. It's nice to see.
Vikings, another upset on the Lions again on the road, 27-24.
Wasn't that a big point spread too?
That was another big. They won outright, but they obviously Lions didn't cover that one. JJ is back. Didn't have like the greatest game, I think, but it was mainly a defensive game for them. Like,
and he looked good though.
He did look good, but it wasn't like you look at the score sheet; it didn't blow anybody out. And Jetta's again didn't hit his prop. I bet him again to do 80 yards.
Yeah, I have him on
back-to-back weeks of not getting 80 yards is crazy work. Mm-hmm. But the defense showed out, and they put a lot of pressure on Lions quarterback
Matt Stafford.
Nope. Try again. Jared Goff.
Jesus. We was going to say Sam Bradford.
Oh, that is true. Jesus, we drawn a blank here. Gibbs had like 7 yards rush. I don't know what happened. Like that game was like so weird.
Yeah, it was a weird game. Montgomery had his first fumble all season.
Yeah, dude.
That was just a weird game.
It was a game where the Lions were just off, I think, and those games happen. And anybody can get beat in the NFL. So
any given Sunday.
Patriots, this one hurt. Sneak out a win over the Falcons, 24-23, despite Drake London having 3 touchdowns. I
missed extra point.
That fucking kicker, dude, Romo. It's something Romo, dude. And I remember the first week that he was their kicker, he got signed. After they got rid of Koo. We were at your house watching the game, and he missed a game-winning field goal or something, dude. He's terrible. I think he missed like 2 field goals that game. He's terrible. He cost them that game, missed an extra point. They're just bad. That game should have went to OT, and I think that the Falcons would have ended up nudging that one out. Drake London would have probably had 4.
Fourth
he would have had 4 touchdowns.
Say, yeah, right.
Jags beating the Raiders in OT, 30-29. Cam Little ties. I think he tied the record, or he just beat the record outright.
He beat the record
outright. Yeah. 68-yard field goal, dude.
It was 66 by Justin Tucker. Now it's 68 by Cam Little. Cam Little hit a 70-yarder in preseason.
There's been one of my buddies. Shout out to the Green Means Go podcast. It's not a podcast. Green Means Go YouTube channel. Who predicted there will be a 70-yard field goal this season? He was close. 68 yards. 68 yards.
Yeah. There's still plenty of games left.
He said, why can't they just back him up a couple more?
Yeah, right?
He could have hit it. Because he had plenty of leg.
I saw the
He had plenty of leg on it.
He had plenty. He could have hit that from 70. Which is insane to think about. Like, 6 years ago, 50-yard field goals were like, whoa, this guy made a 50-yard field goal. And then it's just like, all right, everybody's hitting 50s and low 60s. And now it's just like 68. Like, goddamn. Like, we're going to see an 80-yard field goal in our lifetime.
Yeah, someone's going to have a running start. It's going to be like a kickoff, dude. And the last game I wrote down here, and I talked about it earlier, was the Cards upsetting the Cowboys on the road. A lot of these upsets were all on the road. Yeah. 27-17. Do we keep Jacoby Brissett in there now at this point? Because I feel like they're just winning games with this dude.
Well, yeah, they just put.
I thought. Okay, I didn't know.
So yeah, they already announced they put him on. Okay. They put him on IR today. Yesterday, they announced him. Even if he was
healthy, though, I think I would still ride with this dude.
Yeah.
Like,
so I forgot who I was listening to. They said it's one of those things where a wide receiver, when you run your route, if you don't know where your quarterback is, it's tough because when you have a scrambling quarterback like Kyler Murray, you don't know where if you run your route, you don't know where your quarterback is. And then when you turn around, you got to look for him and try to get to where he's at to try to make a play. Whereas Jacoby Brissett, not the greatest quarterback, but not a scrambling quarterback, he's going to be in the pocket as long as his pocket stays healthy. So Marvin Harrison Jr. had one of his best games of his career with Jacoby Brissett, who's on his like 5th or 6th team right now. But because he's a pocket passer, he can run his route, and if Jacoby or Brissett can make that throw, he's gonna be open. He's gonna make that catch. So I think they should stick with Jacoby Brissett going forward. Even if Kyler Murray is healthy, I know he's got that contract. You probably should play him because he makes that much money. But if you start winning games and Kyler Murray comes back, and if you start him, he's got to have a short leash. But Jacoby Brissett, I think, makes that team a little bit better, especially for Marvin Harrison Jr. And I just lost all train of thought.
You're good. I wanted to show you this little line here because I don't agree with this, but it says,
I've heard this
why
too.
does Kyler Murray and Tua Tagovailoa, I could try saying that, Tagovailoa, am I saying it right?
Nope. I can't say it either. So
it is Tag.
I think it's.
Right.
I think there's a missing. It's. I think it's
Tagovailoa.
I think it's Tagovailoa.
Oh yeah, it's Tagovailoa.
There's Tagovailoa or something like that.
Anyways, makes a QB swap. Why that makes sense? I don't think it does make sense. You're getting the same player again.
Yeah.
Tua is maybe a little taller, but like you're essentially getting the same type of player again. And I just browsed it, and they were talking about change of scenery. No, man, I don't see that being.
Listen,
I think you go in completely different directions if you're both teams. You get a non-mobile quarterback if you're Carolina, and you get a right hand. No, Carolina. Cardinals.
Arizona.
Sorry, Arizona. And then you get a right-hander if you're Miami. Going opposite directions.
Yeah. So I found my train of thought. The train's back on the rails right here. Kyler Murray hasn't had good stats since his first, second, and maybe third year in the NFL. He's had injury issues. He's been inconsistent. Last year, he had a little bit of a resurgence after he came back. I think it was the ACL a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So he had a little bit of a resurgence last year, but he's the same guy. When it's in your contract clause that you have to study film, you shouldn't be in here. You shouldn't be in the NFL at this point.
Take a look at the stream. Are we good still? Because I got the error now again, but it doesn't look like it's freezing up on here. So,
no, I see us moving.
Okay, well, I'll monitor it.
Moving. See my fucking bald ass head shining off this light.
It's shining all right, man.
I should have wore a hat.
I'll let you finish your thought on that though. If you,
I pretty much finished it. But Kyler Murray, he hasn't been good. He's already been in the league for 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah, man.
He's not a franchise quarterback at this point. You tried, it failed. You tried again, and it's failing again. You gave him that contract, which they never should have done.
Yeah.
I think they brought in his college head coach to be his head coach in the NFL. That didn't work. At this point, and like I said, you got to put in your contract that you have to study films or you have to report that you're studying. That's not a professional thing to put in a contract. You're not a professional at this point. When the meme is, the new Call of Duty drops, Kyler Murray's going to suck for the next fucking 4 weeks.
It's unfortunate because
double XP weekend.
It's unfortunate because that's kind of going to be the narrative painted for him now going forward. He's always going to have that until he does something.
Yeah.
And he's not
going to do anything.
And
he's in a really tough division.
Yeah. It's unfortunately for him. I think he'll be off that team sooner rather than later. They're going to go in a different direction, start drafting quarterbacks this upcoming draft and figure out what you want to do if you're the Arizona Cardinals. Same with the Dolphins. I think you almost have to move on from Tua, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to make a coaching change first, and they're going to give that coach, it'll be probably a short leash, and it'll be a coaching change and a quarterback change the year after that. I say they're going to be one more year, short leash, new coach, and then they're going to go, it might not have been the coach.
My immediate thought was Brian Daboll and the Giants because he had Daniel Jones. He looked great with Daniel Jones his first year. They gave Daniel Jones that contract instead of Saquon Barkley. It didn't work out. Yeah. But then they go and get a quarterback. Jackson Dart looks like he could be something. They had Malik Neighbors, who unfortunately blew his ACL out.
Dable ain't going anywhere now.
Jackson Dart's that's what I'm saying, Lo. So I don't think that the Cardinals are going to get rid of their coach. Excuse me. And then give the coach a short leash with Kyler Murray as his quarterback. I think it's going to be a Giants type of situation where they're going to go get a quarterback and you're going to give Kyler Murray a shorter leash. And then the quarterback's going to have to come in and prove something. And if he proves out that he might be something, then you keep that coach again. I think Brian Daboll got his job saved by Jackson Dart.
He did.
And now all the injuries between Cam Scadaboo, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors was putting up numbers. Cam Scadaboo looked like an absolute animal, literally, just running through
They're going to be
walls.
next. I'm really interested to see what next year is going to be when everybody's healthy.
Yep.
Starting with Dart from the beginning of a season.
Yep.
If they get a couple pieces on defense, maybe another offensive lineman, I think that the Giants could be somebody to at least challenge the Eagles because at right now, I think that they're better than the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys
so
on paper are better, but they just don't play that good.
Yeah.
And they're losing games to the Cardinals at home. So, I think right now
and the Panthers
well, that was an away game, but
Well,
I think that on paper the Cowboys are a better team, but realistically, the Giants are right there, dude. And then the Eagles got a little bit of a notch above them.
If the Cowboys had Micah Parsons, they'd be good because their defense is awful now. Their defense, they can't stop the run. They don't have a pass rusher anymore because they got rid of Micah Parsons. So now they're bringing a pass rusher or a run stopper in Quinton Williams. We'll see what he can do. We'll see if that helps the defense a little bit. But the comparisons for the Cowboys defense has been the Bengals defense, and the Bengals defense is the absolute worst in the league. So when you're
the Cowboys are bad too, dude.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's just like if the Cowboys actually had a defense, they might have challenged the Eagles a little bit more because the Eagles, they're good. I don't think they're as formidable as they were last year or years before. I think they've taken a little bit of a step, not a huge step back, but they've taken a baby step backwards. They're not. I don't think they're as good. They got the drama issues now with AJ Brown.
Yep.
We're running the ball too much. But when they throw the ball more, you don't hear a peep out of Saquon Barkley saying, "I didn't get the ball enough. I want to run it more." You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where they're in the spotlight. It's Philadelphia.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on here to some key injuries before we get into the pick'ems. Last week, Cole Kmet out, concussion. We saw Colston Loveland shine.
Yep.
Honestly, I thought Colston Loveland was going to do this from week one because I drafted him high. There was a lot of expectations on him, but it just took for this dude to get concussed. Fun fact, I don't think Cole Kmet had missed a game before that injury.
Oh, wow.
Which was crazy. Iron Man. Samaje Perine, ankle injury. Thank God, because we saw Chase Brown finally eat, man. Yeah, the ground game wasn't crazy, but he did what he does. He catches passes. I think they threw him like 13 times, dude.
That didn't make sense to me because they never split. Like, it was weird.
The Bengals are a sham right now because of the Joe Burrow injury, and that entire offense is different. There's no offensive line. They had to run Jake Browning, who thought they were going to do something with, and he couldn't do absolutely anything. And Flacco is saving the season for them right now until Burrow gets back. And they got to pray that this dude doesn't get hurt before Burrow gets back, or else the season is back over with Browning back in there. But it didn't make sense. You still should be passing or at least checking down to your guy and making him do something. But I mean, I don't pray for injuries, but thank God this dude got hurt because now Chase Brown can finally fucking eat again.
Do you have him in fantasy?
I do, dude.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's why.
That's why.
Okay.
Tucker Kraft, ACL torn. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I think they said his ACL is probably torn. He's out for the season. Travis Hunter, knee injury, IR, 4 weeks. BTJ also got hurt in that game. He's questionable with an ankle injury.
He's been dealing with injuries all year.
But they traded for Jacoby, so guess what? Now they got a guy, so they'll be fine. Aaron Jones, who just came off IR, re-injured his shoulder, but they said it wasn't serious. He escaped major injury. It said suffered an AC joint sprain, but it's a minor injury. And then I think the biggest one here was Jaden Daniels. Getting hurt again. I think he broke his arm on that play.
Dislocated his non-throwing elbow.
Dude.
There's talks he might come back.
Ain't no way.
Within a few weeks. Well, look what happened with Xavier Worthy. He dislocated his shoulder and he was back and he's playing. So I don't know how long. Is it? Like I said, it's his non-throwing shoulder. So if there's no interior, if it was just a dislocation, they could pop it back in, get the swelling down, get the pain down. I don't know if there's any ligament damage in his elbow, but again, it's his non-throwing elbow. So I don't know how much of a factor that's going to be.
They haven't confirmed anything.
Yeah, I'm not
since
surprised.
Yesterday,
yeah,
so
that was.
I get it. It's his non-throwing, but dude, that was a nasty break. And also, what are the fucking Commanders right now? They're absolutely shit.
Dude, they were down 38-7. And he was in the game.
So that was the other part of that. It was that he shouldn't have been in the game. That wasn't even close. They were down 31-7 at half, or 31-0 at half, or something like that. It was something crazy. They had 31 points at half. The Seahawks.
It was 31-7.
And I get it. You're still playing, but then you're getting into deep in the third quarter here. All right, dude. Put Mariota in, let this thing be over, because he's been hurt earlier in the year, and then they had to go games without him. So, look at your quarterback, your franchise quarterback got hurt earlier this year. Stop fucking. It's chalked up as a loss at this point. Blame that on Dan Quinn, who's a shit coach, and he's only.
Is it Dan Quinn?
I
was trying to think of the.
It's Dan Quinn. He wears a backwards hat.
I thought it was Raheem Morris.
No, that's Atlanta.
That's Atlanta. See,
Yeah.
I'm getting everybody confused.
And one guy's black and one guy's white. But anyways,
I don't see color.
yeah, Champ Bailey or Champ Kelly. Champ Kelly.
Yep, Champ Kelly.
So
I was thinking Chip Kelly, old pudgy white guy.
That's him. That's him, dude.
But yeah, just 38. Dan Quinn did say, like, with 12 minutes left when he put him back out there, they said we're not going to do any running plays or scrambling plays with him. But he's like, I should have known. It's Jaden Daniels. He's a runner.
He's going to run, dude.
He's going to run.
Especially because they couldn't get anything on offense. McLaurin
out again.
So they're down to Debo, and look, he's getting doubled. They literally don't throw to anybody. I don't know why they can't throw to Ertz more, but he's just going to take off with his legs every time. All right, let's get into the pick'ems here. We'll recap last week. I didn't do great. 7-7. I did get my bonus bet right there, which was Achane over 5.5 receptions. Jeff went 9-5. Congrats, man. Another winning week for you. Lamar did miss, unfortunately, 35 rushing. I was a little skeptical on that just because of him coming off the injury.
I just thought
it is low. It was seriously low for him.
That's
but
why
also,
I was
like the flip side is that game was weird. He had 4 touchdowns and only like 200 yards. Like it was a weird game where
it's a weird week.
He was throwing fucking touchdowns, but they had no yards, rushing or passing. So Miami just turned the ball over and gave him good field position.
2 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
They just had good field position every time. So that brings our totals on the year. I'm back down here by 3 games, 79 wins to 82 wins. We're both back tied again, though, with our bonus bets. All right, let's get into this week's pick'ems. Here we go. We're going to start things off with tomorrow's game, the Thursday Night Football game, guys. Raiders at the Denver Broncos here. Divisional game. I mean, I'm trying to pick the Raiders every once in a while, but it's becoming tougher and tougher to pick the Raiders.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I don't want to get too far into it because this is the pick'ems, but the Raiders with Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, Max Crosby, Pete Carroll as their head coach. I thought, okay, they might be a 500 team. Maybe
Ashton Genty,
I forgot about him. They might be a 500 team, a game above, a game below. At least be competitive in games.
They're not competitive.
They're not even competitive. I know this past week against the Jags, it was a little bit more competitive. I just think that was a one-off at this point. It's the Jags.
It went to overtime. They lost by 1. So, like, they should have probably won. That was one of the games we picked different. I could have got a game on you.
How did I go to overtime and lose and win by 1?
Because it was
I didn't watch that game at all.
I don't remember, but maybe there's a touchdown. They don't have to kick the extra point. I don't know. No, I don't know. There was a missed extra. I don't know.
Okay,
we can we'll revisit that. All right, kicking off Sunday games. We're back to the international games, guys. 9:30 a.m. in Berlin. Atlanta at Indy. Because for a second I thought I didn't realize it was international. I was just looking at away and home teams. I'm like, Indy at home, no cakewalk. Still should be a cakewalk, but Indy and Atlanta traveling to Germany. Adds a little bit complexity to this thing. I think that the addition of Sauce Gardner, though, now you got huge. Somebody that can cover Drake London, because that's my only thing is like Drake is going to eat. Michael Pittman's been pretty good for the Colts. Obviously, Tyler Warren's been pretty good for the Colts. I think I was aiming to be more of a shootout, but I think that Indy's defense, with the addition of Sauce Gardner, will shut this team down overseas. Be a lower scoring game. I think Indy wins this one out.
Yeah, I think Indy wins this one as well. And I was going to say it's easier for a defensive player to get traded to a new team and fit in better because there's not as many like play schemes. He doesn't have to learn like routes and everything like that. Mm-hmm. He's just got to go be himself. So I think it's a lot easier. I do think Indy wins this one, especially after last week. I don't think Daniel Jones has another 4 turnover game. Or 5 turnover game.
Why are these tickets cheaper than the Chicago Bears tickets, dude? Okay.
Because we probably can't get to Germany. I don't know.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. All right. Giants at the Chicago Bears. Bears putting up fucking big numbers last week. A shootout game.
That was a
really good game, dude. I just talked about Colston Loveland having a huge game. A lot of points being scored. Caleb Williams had a good game.
Yeah.
On the ground and in the air. I think I'm going to ride the hot hand in this one. Just take Chicago. I like New York. I like that team. The injuries, the Scadaboo and Neighbors, and You got to hope Dart can do something with his legs and the arm and throw into fucking Darius Slayton, who seems like he's 87 years old. Like, I just don't know, man. I'm going to go with Chicago at home.
I kind of want to go with the Giants on this one. Jackson Dart still had 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, he's still good.
He's still good. Part of me doesn't like taking Chicago because they've been so bad. They're better than the Vikings at this point this year. They're third in their division at this point. I think they're tied with the Packers even. It's absolutely insane. My gut's telling me to go with the Giants, so I'm just going to go with the Giants. I can see Chicago winning this one. Gun to my head, I'd probably pick Chicago, but I'm taking the Giants on this one.
So that division again is good.
Yeah.
Like 5-2, 5-3, 5-3, 4-4, no losing record. It's tough. Who are you taking?
I took the Giants.
That's fair.
I don't know.
I think Giants I think they're getting points. So Giants with the points, I would take. What is it? Why am I even guessing? 4.5. So yeah,
it's right there.
I think they're getting points. It's right there.
It's literally right there.
Yeah, I was right. They're getting 4 points. I take Giants with the points. Maybe Bears money line. That's how I'm thinking on that one. All right. Obviously, Bills, Miami. We both are taking
Buffalo.
Miami on the. Buffalo. Just kidding.
Easy. Surprised you didn't pick the Chiefs last week.
I thought about it, but I knew you were going to pick the Bills, and I couldn't afford another loss. So.
Oh boy.
Baltimore at Minnesota.
This could be a good game.
It could be.
It depends. Baltimore
on the road,
getting a little healthier. Minnesota's defense showed out last week against
both
the
teams
Lions.
coming off of good wins, I think, too.
Baltimore's getting a little bit more rest. They got 10 days because they played Thursday night. I don't know.
I think I'm going to lean on this one.
This is a coin flip for me.
Fuck, dude. I really want to take Minnesota just because I don't want Baltimore to win any more games.
Right.
Baltimore on the road, we haven't seen yet because that game was home, right, against Miami, right? Was that a home game?
I think it was in Miami.
Oh, you're right, dude.
It was in Miami.
Okay. I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore as well.
Lamar, when healthy, is so hard to guard, dude.
Like I said, yeah.
I'm not going to take anything away from JJ last week, but this is going to be their defense is going to be under a lot more stress this week. Covering Lamar is different than covering any other quarterback.
Yep.
Give me Baltimore. That Cleveland at New York, the Jets. Battle of two terrible organizations.
I'm going with Cleveland.
If Judkins is back,
I mean, the Jets just got rid of any defense they had.
They did.
So, I mean, and actually a lot of people were saying that they should have traded their offense. They should have traded Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and kept their defense intact because defense is harder to get studs at. And they had 2 studs on defense. Now they've got nobody. So I'm going to go with Cleveland on this one just because the Jets made those trades. And I don't know who else they have in the backfield. I'm sorry, in the secondary for the Jets. So I'm going with the Jets on this one.
I think he did practice, dude, this week. So if he's back for sure, I'm going to take them as well. It's tough because Dylan Gabriel is so fucking bad, dude, and they refuse to play Shedeur Sanders.
He's going to get some starts this year.
I
would bet a couple more losses that you're going to see, especially towards the end of the year. They've got to see if they have anything with Shedeur Sanders. One of them either has to pan out or they're going right back to drafting another quarterback next year. And I think they have 2 first-round picks next year.
Yeah,
based off of some of their trades.
New England at Tampa. Give me the Bucks, and we need it too.
Yeah.
This is the toughest game probably remaining on their schedule for the Patriots.
So we need Tampa to show out.
I need them to win, but I also do think Tampa could win. Coming off the bye, feeling a little bit more healthy.
I think
dude, Bucky is still probably not going to play, dude. It's crazy. They didn't put him on IR, and this was 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they obviously thought his injury would be less than 4 weeks, or else they would have put him on IR. It's going to be going on 6 weeks now, and he still might not play, which is fucking crazy to me. They really need him back. But Ibuka getting healthier over the weekend, and that's huge because Evans is pretty much out for the year, and you're down to basically there's Ibuka at this point. There's fucking nobody else on this team. And Baker needs to get healthy too because he's been getting banged up because he's trying to fucking run people over like he's Scattaboo.
Yeah, right.
All right, New Orleans at Carolina. Give me Carolina, dude. That's Carolina, baby. That's the easiest Carolina pick of the fucking year, I think.
If you would have told me, if this was last year's Carolina New Orleans, I'm like,
I would have thought about it.
I would have thought about it more, but this was like Carolina. Like,
Because New Orleans, I mean, the beginning of the season they were good, but last year I still probably would have taken Carolina, but I would have thought about it more. 2 years ago, I definitely would have been like New Orleans.
Yep.
Jacksonville at Houston, divisional game. Oh, Houston dropped a close one against Denver this past week, but it was defensive. And Houston does have a good defense. Jacksonville, Jacoby Myers, welcome to the team. Maybe he'll make a difference. There's no C.J. Stroud, though. You got to start Davis Mills.
Oh, that's right. I'm going Jacksonville.
It's got to be Jacksonville at this time, right?
Yeah.
Arizona at Seattle. Look, Arizona had a good win. Divisional game here. They're losing Seattle. Yeah. There's nothing I could say about that.
This would be a good game. This would be a
Rams
fun.
San Fran.
Should be a good game. San Francisco's defense is a little banged up.
So 6-2 against 6-3. I keep forgetting that the fucking 49ers are 6-3, like they have a good record because there's nobody on defense.
I said last week San Francisco against the Giants was the handicap bowl because everybody's hurt on that team, on both teams. Like, and then San Francisco.
And you're playing Mac Jones as your starter, dude.
Mac
They're
Jones
winning
looks
games.
Phenomenal.
They're winning games.
Brock Purdy might not get his job back.
He's going to get his job
paid,
back.
but
he's going to get his job back.
I know,
but it's crazy. But it's
yeah.
crazy that how good they've done. Look at they're 6-1 in the conference. The 49ers, better than anybody else in that.
3-0 in their division.
Yeah,
Rams
dude.
are 0-1 in their division.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, I think the Rams got to bounce back for their division game there. Rams are home. No, they're away. Fuck.
Give me the 49ers, dude.
Yeah,
I'm going to ride the hot hand.
You know what? I'm going to take the Rams.
You got to take something different. There you go.
Well, I already took one different from you, but
honestly, Rams still the better team, I think. Even obviously on paper, but Puka Nacua is back, and that's a huge difference for them.
Yes, it is. Devontae Adams has been a stud too, though, even without Puka Nacua. So
that's true. They didn't lose a step there. Detroit looking to rebound here against Washington. Sorry, that's easy. Washington's garbage. No Jaden Daniels, and
probably no Terry McLaurin.
Fucking tanking. Wait, what is Washington's record, dude?
Not good.
They're up here. They're terrible.
They're down more. They're
okay,
NFC.
I'm retarded.
Don't use that word. Up more, right there. 3-6.
That's not good.
No,
bad team. And so that was what the last of the 4:00 games Sunday night. Pittsburgh at the Chargers.
This is going to be a good one. I'm concerned about the Chargers. They already had offensive line issues. Now they're down 2 offensive linemen because they just got Joe Alt went back on IR. They lost another offensive tackle. The run game's not good without Amari Hampton. Keenan Allen, I got to go Pittsburgh on this one. I feel like I have to. Pittsburgh just put up a really good game last week against the Colts, and I thought the Colts were going to cakewalk the Steelers.
I'm going to go Chargers on this one.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh. I just that offensive line scares me, and T.J. Watt against a bad offensive line, he's gonna feed.
I'm just banking on what kind of Pittsburgh Steelers team is going to show up. They were home last week. I almost ate the styrofoam off this mic. I got so close. But you're right. Like TJ Watt looked like prime TJ Watt, but that's the first time I've seen him look good in like 4 weeks. So, and same with Aaron Rodgers. What Aaron Rodgers are you going to get?
That's true too.
He has been the wild card. When Aaron Rodgers plays well, the team will win the game. And he hasn't played well very many games, and they always rely on their defense to bail him out.
Yeah,
the defense cannot bail you out every single week. They can play well, but they can't bail you out every week.
They got to the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett because of their defense. Aaron Rodgers
teams have got tape on this now.
Even at 41 years old, is still a 3 steps above.
Teams got tape on you at this point, man. It's different. All right, Monday night game here, which I cannot watch because I don't have ESPN because YouTube TV and ESPN are gay.
Contract disputes.
The Eagles at the Packers, and I would have thought this is game of the week if it wasn't for Carolina embarrassing Green Bay last week.
Green Bay is so hit or miss.
I don't understand this team at all. And they were home last week. So do they lose back-to-back home games? I want to say no, but
I think they do.
Are the Eagles coming off a bye? Were they on a bye last week?
That I do not know.
I feel like they were.
I think they were on a bye last week.
I don't remember picking them on anything.
Me neither.
Okay, Eagles on a bye last week. You almost have to go Eagles coming off the bye.
They upgraded their defense too. Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips.
I got to go Philly on this one.
You got to go Philly on this one. It just makes sense. I mean, I could see Green Bay just because of...
I could see Green Bay winning
just
this
because
one.
of last week. Yeah. And what's the spread on this? It's 2.5.
Minus 2.5 at home. At home.
No, that's good.
I'm saying
they're favored. They're favored.
Never mind. My bad.
They're favored, Jeff. No, but I can... So the point is, yeah, they're favored, and they came off of a loss last week to Carolina, and they lost earlier in the year to Cleveland.
And they lost Tucker Kraft, their best.
How are they still favored? It makes no sense. So I think this is a trap game. I think Eagles look sharp on paper, but if I'm a betting man, I probably would run Green Bay minus 2.5. I'm going to go with Philly, though.
Okay.
It makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yep.
I think that's rounding off the pick'ems. Let's get into just the Thursday night bets here before we wrap things up here. All right. What game is it? The Raiders and Broncos.
Raiders and Broncos. We both picked Denver.
It's probably not. No, we both picked Oakland.
We both picked Denver to win, but we picked Raiders.
We both picked Oakland. We both picked
They're always
Vegas.
Oakland.
Yeah,
they'll
correct.
Always be Oakland.
We both picked Denver to win, but we're picking Raider props because we're picking throwing props because they're going to be behind the whole game. I took Trey Tucker here. Give me Trey Tucker 40 plus receiving yards. His line's 40.5 anyways, but I just took the 40 plus. He got 38 last week with Jacoby Myers in the lineup. He's gone. I understand Brock Bowers is the guy there, and he had over 130 yards last week. He'll still get his, but come on, Trey Tucker, who is also a big play guy, he can get that with one catch. Now that he's technically the number one receiver, 40 yards with no Jacoby Myers to worry about. If that's not a fucking lock, I don't know what is. Maybe Jeff's pick is a lock.
Yeah, I'm taking Brock Bowers over 6.5 receptions because of the Jacoby Myers trade. That's more targets for Brock Bowers. And I think it's different for when it comes to tight ends and wide receivers. It's different when it comes to scheming because you scheme a wide receiver different than you scheme a tight end.
Right.
I think Brock Bowers is like a unicorn at tight end. He's going to end up being obviously not one of the greatest of all time, but I really think he's going to be probably a top five tight end. He's going to look like Travis Kelce, top 8. He's going to look like maybe not Gronk or Kelce, but 7. George Kittle, maybe George Kittle-ish.
Top 9.
Yeah, top 10.
He's up there. He's up
I don't
there.
even fucking
I
know
keep
him.
thinking of like good tight ends.
I just think of like Antonio
so.
Gonzalez and
Tony Gonzalez.
Antonio Gates. Thank you. 7.5%.
Champ Kelly or whatever fucking Kelly.
Champ Kelly. No, I didn't mess up the name Champ Kelly. I just thought Champ Kelly was more like Chip Kelly.
I got it.
But yeah, Brock Bauer, 6.5 receptions. I think that's probably going to be a lock.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to close things out. Look at that. An hour and 18 minutes. Right on time.
And we didn't get any Sabres talk.
We can mention Sabres real quick. Go ahead.
The Sabres they've lost 5 straight in overtime. They've had 5 straight overtime games. They still have a winning percentage over 500, and they actually just look like an NHL team. They look like they belong in the NHL. They're in games. They lost 2-1 in overtime last night. They look. After the first 3 games, I'm like, this team's fucking abysmal. Ever since that, they flipped a switch. They look good. They play hard. They're playing aggressive. They're playing with passion. The goaltending's been good. Alex Lyon, I think, has probably earned a couple more starts over Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Sabres. I think they need to get healthy. No Benson. Greenway finally came back. He's been playing pretty good. He's on the top line, which with Tuck, which doesn't make sense. I thought he was our 3rd or 4th liner. No Benson, no Norris, and we're missing somebody else too. I'm drawing a blank on that, but we're getting production from other guys besides Tuck, besides Thompson. It's just nice to see. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Sabres progress as the year goes on. And like I said, we just need to not have an 0-13 skid this year. Yeah,
just stay competitive. You can't go on these large droughts without winning here. And look like a hockey team, man. Like, I feel like we've been close in a lot of these games. We've been competitive.
Yep.
It hasn't been just chalk. And if they can kind of keep that up, I think they can stay in the mix because they'll get their stride. I think I think they'll catch a win streak before they catch a lose streak like that. So, you don't need to go 13 wins in a row, but man, win like 4 or 5 in a row, man. You do something positive here before you lose 4 or 5 in a row. And I think that's the biggest difference. A lot of these good teams that you always see in the playoffs, they don't necessarily go on a fucking 10 to 13 game win streak, but they do get 4 to 5 game win streaks often. They win 4, they lose a couple. Mm-hmm. They win 4, they lose a couple. They might lose 3. Win 1, lose 3, but then they'll win 4, lose a couple.
I think they're 4-1-4 in the last 9 games, and the last 4 have been overtime losses. Yeah. So at least they're getting points. They're getting points now, which is nice to see. So,
also shout out to NCAA basketball being back. Game 1 was 2 days ago on Monday. So we're on the 3rd day of college basketball. Careful out there betting, guys. If you're like me and you're just being a DJ and throwing money out the door, you might as well just burn it at this point because there's not a lot of tape on any of these teams right now. Some of these guys have only played 1 game, and a lot of them haven't even played their first game yet. But tis the season. That's probably my favorite sport to bet on, and second favorite sport to watch next to football. So it is a season for NCAA basketball. I'm already excited for it because I'm excited for March Madness, and that's literally months and months away right now.
5 months away.
But it is the season, guys. So just careful out there.
And shout out to the Dodgers winning back-to-back
that's true.
World Series. For the first time in 25 years, we've had back-to-back World Series champions.
Wow.
Also, real quick stat, this is the first time. There's been 6 other instances where the championship series where one team has swept and one team has gone game 7. The team that goes game 7 in the championship series, the series before, they end up winning the World Series. So this is the first time that the team swept the championship series and won the World Series.
With the extra rest.
Yep. It's the first time, which is kind of crazy. I mean, there's only been 6 other instances, but you would think that that wouldn't happen all the time.
I know a lot of people in this area were pulling for the Blue Jays. Just because they technically are the closest team to us. Yeah, I get it. It's Canada versus the U.S., but however, I like to see different teams win, man. I would have been fine with the Blue Jays winning this one. The only silver lining here is that Ohtani can put another championship to the record book because he's already going to go down as the greatest baseball player of all time, and just keep adding chips, man, because that's going to be an argument.
And did you see the stat that came out? They gave him a $700 million contract. 1 year alone, they've already made $700 million in sales.
Yeah, see, look
on Shohei Ohtani.
Underpaid.
I guess. You know what? Honestly, you're not wrong. If he's going to make $700 million a year,
he's a $1 billion player. Underpaid.
It's just unreal. Like how much money he made off of like jersey sales.
And he didn't even pitch his first year. Underpaid.
Yeah, he pitched a little bit this year.
No, his first year he didn't pitch.
Oh, first year, yeah. This year, yeah, right.
Hey man, he's him.
Yep.
All right, guys. With that being said, I'm Mikey D.
I'm Jeff.
We out.
Go Bills.